What's up guys, JNO here, and today it's time for Football Get Certified.
Your secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays kids more worried about the...
Okay guys, so I know I have asked on Sit Down Saturday if I should keep this series alive, Football Get Certified, which has my predictions for next game week, as well as my review of my predictions the previous game week, and football news. And I've made a decision as far as that's goes. I've made a decision as far as that goes, and the voting has been very tight. I think it's 3 votes each. I'm basically going to keep Football Get Certified, but I'm going to use Football Get Certified as my way of asking you guys questions related to the channel as well. And Football Get Certified is where I'm going to let you guys ask me questions, and if I have questions to answer from the comments from my Twitter, which you can see down there, I will answer them in this series, and I will use Football Get Certified as my Sit Down Saturday as well. So I am cancelling Sit Down Saturday. If you enjoyed that, I apologise, but what I was mainly using it for was to ask you guys questions, and we can fit that into this, so that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, let's have a look at my Game Week 6 predictions, and I had a bad week. While my fantasy football didn't do too bad, and I was very close to having a great game week across the board, if only Sacco and Coutinho had actually managed to put some of their chances away. In predictions, I was so off the mark. And I actually, after the week before, my confidence was high, getting 7 out of 10. I put a bet on, which meant I only had to get 7 out of 10 to win my bet, and I got 3 out of 10. I, for some reason, thought that Chelsea at home would lose to Arsenal, when Chelsea have only lost to Arsenal under Mourinho like once in years. So I have no idea what I was thinking when I made that prediction. Diego Costa, by the way, I'll be talking about him later on in this episode. Aston Villa, West Brom, I thought it'd be a draw. It was close to being a draw. West Brom managed to nick a goal and get the victory, so I wasn't too far off with that. One of the few I got correct was Bournemouth versus Sunderland. Just Sunderland and Newcastle, both teams in that part of the country, are really doing poorly at the moment. So I'm not surprised I got that one right. I managed to get Watford versus Newcastle right as well. Same reason. Leicester versus Stoke. Now Leicester haven't been as good away, but Stoke haven't won a game yet, so I thought Leicester might be able to nick it. But it was a draw. Leicester with another comeback from 2-0 down to 2-all. Leicester are the comeback kings. Then we have Swansea versus Everton. I said it would be a draw. The reason I went with a draw because it was at Liberty Stadium, and I was correct there. That's it. Those are the 3 correct, that game and the 2 games against the sides up north. West Ham Man City. I felt confident with every single Man City prediction I've had recently, and even though I'm now a new West Ham fan and I loved the result, it's not too great for my predictions. Aguero seemed off sorts. He had some chances, and even though they weren't the best chances ever, you'd expect him to have got some of those on target, and he failed to get some of them on target as well from what I've seen. De Bruyne did look good though. He's the type of player that can score that kind of goal, so he looked good. And Yaya Toure looked good as well. But West Ham managed to hold on and got a 2-1 victory. West Ham, the giant killers of this season so far, knocking off Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal. They just need to do Chelsea and Man U, and then they've kind of done that top 5 right at the beginning of the season. Then have Tottenham versus Palace. I thought Tottenham wouldn't get the win. They just haven't impressed me much. But Eriksen came back, and as soon as Eriksen was on the pitch, with players like Son, Chadley and Kane, I think him supplying them, Tottenham are a whole new outfit with Eriksen in. The problem is if he gets injured again, I don't see how that team is going to click. But Tottenham managed to pick up the victory, which means another one wrong for me. Liverpool at Anfield couldn't defeat Norwich. I think that says it all really. Sturridge was back, and they did go 1-0 up, but Norwich fought back and got it all to 1-all. Benteke looks like he might be injured now, but I think there's a lot of work that Rodgers needs to do, and I think he's a very lucky man to still be in his job. I commend FSG for keeping faith with a manager for so long, but it's time. It's time to move on. His only good season was because of Suarez. Finally, Man U versus Southampton. I put down as a draw, and it was close. It could have happened. Pella scored both goals with Southampton, but Man United won with 2 Martial goals. I believe that's how you say his name, but I could be wrong. Anthony Martial looks good. I know there was a lot of hype and a lot of questions asked about him when so much money was spent on him, but his finishing looks composed. He doesn't look like he panics in front of goal. He looks like a very calm individual who will get the job done, and he gives that front line the pace that Van Persie, that Rooney and that Falcao couldn't really give them. And I think with the likes of Mata, Rooney, Depay behind him, Man United look like a good outfit attacking wise with Martial at the front. Now Van Gaal said he's going to ease him in, but I think he needs to strike while the iron's hot. This guy is scoring, keep playing him. Anyway, let's have a look at my predictions for the up and coming game week. Okay, so we kick off game week 7 with Tottenham versus Man City. Now, Man City are probably going to be hungry to get back into winning ways, but Tottenham looked good. They didn't score as many as I'd have expected them to. I'm actually going to go with a draw because it's away, and I think maybe the Man City bubble has not burst, but it's got a bit smaller. I don't know what the situation is with some of these injuries as well, and they're going to now try and fit Kevin De Bruyne in. I think against Tottenham, if they have Eriksen playing, it should be a draw, but I wouldn't be surprised if Man City steal it. Leicester versus Arsenal. Arsenal aren't really in form at the moment. Leicester are, but I can't see Leicester beating Arsenal. That's a lie. I can see Leicester beating Arsenal. I just have a feeling that Arsenal are the kind of team that do get some results when they're not playing that well, and I think they should be able to pick up a draw at the King Power Stadium, but we'll see. Liverpool versus Villa. Hard to pick Liverpool at the moment, but it is against Villa, so that is the reason I'm picking Liverpool, because Villa aren't doing too well at the moment. Man United versus Sunderland. It's Sunderland, so I'm picking the other side. It's that simple. I expect Martial to get some more goals as well. Southampton versus Swansea. Swansea didn't look too good away against Watford, so I'm expecting them not to look that great away against Southampton. I think Southampton will tighten up their defence after that performance against Man U, so I'm going to go for a Southampton win, although I will be hoping that my Swansea players score some goals. Stoke versus Bournemouth. I think this is the game where Stoke get their first win. Bournemouth have looked good in spells, but then have turned up to other games and not performed as well as they should have. So I think this might be one of them. I think with Bojan back as well, I think he may be more important to that side than Shaqiri is, but we will see. West Ham versus Norwich. I have to go with West Ham. I've made the mistake of going against them, against big clubs, and it's backfired on me, but I'm going to start having more belief in my side. They will beat Norwich, and it will be a great performance. They are on a high at the moment. Confidence is running high at the Bowling Ground, so I'm going to go with West Ham. Newcastle versus Chelsea. It's Newcastle. Chelsea win. Chelsea have now picked up their win that they needed, and I think they will carry on building on that. Then we have, although Diego Costa should miss that game, but that may help them. Watford versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace could have pulled something away from that Tottenham game, so I think away, counter-attacking style, I think they will beat Watford. But Watford have looked good, and don't be surprised if Igolo scores again. Finally, West Brom versus Everton. I see West Brom and Everton with a draw. Purely because of West Brom's defence, I think it's going to be a draw, but I wouldn't be surprised if Everton managed to pull out a victory. So guys, now is the time where I talk to you about the football news and everything relevant to that. And first off, I just want to talk about Diego Costa. Now, what he did in that game should have got him sent off like 3 or 4 times over. Yes, Gabriel's reaction to him wasn't that great and deserved the red card that he got, but Diego Costa should have been sent off before that had even happened. He hit, punched, kicked, clawed, did everything in that game, and he is now getting a ban from the FA because I believe Mike Dean said he didn't see the incidents. And I mean, how many incidences does it have to be till you see one? But I think Arsenal are really unlucky that they were in that situation of a man down because of Diego Costa. And everyone outside of Chelsea just looks at Diego Costa and thinks, what a wanker. Even Kurt Zouma called him a cheater. And that's what you expect from him. And that's his own teammate. I just think it's the ugly side of football that we really don't want to see as fans. And it ruined what could have been a great game. I watched the second half and was just pissed off at what happened, to be honest. I think Chelsea don't need Diego Costa if they get someone better in. There are strikers that can do just as good a job, that don't have that nasty side to them, that could get him sent off, which could have cost Chelsea the game. If Costa got sent off, Gabriel wouldn't have kicked him, there'd have been a man down, and then it could have been a whole different story. So if I was Mourinho, I would look at replacing Costa. I'm not sure they've got anyone at the club right now that could replace him, but I just don't like Costa. It's as simple as that. West Ham pulled out a shock victory against Man City, and Slaven Bilic, the lad, came out with an awesome quote this week. He said, winning is like turning up to a pub that is full of women. What a lad. And Anthony Martial, what a young signing he looks like he could be. Everyone ridiculed Man United for the panic signing. It reeked of Falcao last year. It reeked of that. We need a striker now. We've backed ourselves into a corner. Let's just throw money at Monaco and take their young French striker. It now looks like they knew what they were doing. I still think they overpaid for him. I think they could have got him for less. If they'd started trying to make that move earlier on in the season, they could have got him for less. It looks like at the end of the day it may very well pay off. Anyway guys, what I'd like you guys to do is leave me any questions you have for Football Get Certified so I can put them into the next Football Get Certified episode. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you're happy for Football Get Certified staying on this channel. And remember guys, stay certified.